Hey everyone, so I'm gonna redo this real quick. My audio input wasn't working, so when I recorded the lecture, it didn't have any sound. So this will be an abridged version, but hopefully we can still cover everything, and that way I can post it for you. All right. So first of all, here's the home page for our CAD 1 course. Here's the links for Discord and Twitch right there on the home page. So if you ever need those. And then there's a few things that we've got to cover right away. We got to make sure that everybody's got the book and the software for the class. So the book we're going to be using is right here. There's a link to it on Amazon. It's basically it's the SolidWorks 2019 Basic Tools. And if you don't have the 2019 version, if you have a different year of this book, that's fine. They're basically the same. So don't worry too much about that. If you don't have it yet, go ahead and get the 2019 version that's linked there. Um, and then the software is going to be SolidWorks. So you want to download SolidWorks using the instructions at the bottom of the page. And you want the 2020-2021 version of SolidWorks. So that's going to be here. You're going to click this link. You're going to follow it. Go ahead and put in your information here. First, last, email. You're going to select student. You do have a serial number. You're going to click yes. And then you want to select this 2020-2021 version. And then click request download, and it'll walk you through to get your download. And then it'll ask when you install it, it'll ask for this SEK code. You're just going to want to use this one here. You can copy and paste it. It's easier than typing the whole thing out. And then right here, these are the basic tools exercise files. So if you want to download that, there's some files in there that we'll be using this quarter. You don't have to download it right now, but you'll want to download it eventually to get to those files for some of the exercises that we'll do. So, all right, that's everything on the home page. Let's go ahead and go to the syllabus. So this is a 5-credit class. The time expectations for the quarter, it's pretty much going to be 33 hours of lecture time, 44 hours of lab time. And those are going to be, we're going to have lectures every Monday at 3:30 p.m. And usually my lectures will last like 2 hours maybe. And then lab time is going to be Wednesdays from 3:30 to 7:30. That's when I'll be in the lab. You can come in if you need to work on stuff on campus. You can come into the lab anytime. You don't have to come in during my lab hours. But if you want to talk to me, if you have questions for me, I'll be here Wednesday evenings. So the outcomes for this course, the objectives, it basically, in a nutshell, is to learn how to use the SolidWorks CAD software. So the first objective is to use the menu structure and graphical user interface within a 3D parametric CAD package. And the CAD package we're going to be using is going to be SolidWorks this quarter. So we are not going to be using AutoCAD. There's several other softwares as well that a lot of people like. Fusion 360 is a popular one. If you want to download that on your own, I believe it's free. So that's a good one to play around with. But for this course, we're going to be using SolidWorks and nothing else. All right, so second objective is to create sketches. Third objective is to apply dimensions and constraints to sketches. Fourth objective is to extrude, sweep, and revolve 2D geometry. So that's basically making those two-dimensional sketches you created into three-dimensional parts. Objective 5, create features such as holes, shells, fillets, and chamfers. Those are all just different features in SolidWorks that you can use to draw parts. 6 is create and modify solid parts. And then objective 7 is to create basic engineering orthographic drawings using models of solid parts. So that's going to be toward the end of the quarter. We're going to take some of the solid three-dimensional parts that we've modeled and kind of reverse engineer. So we're going to take them back and make a drawing of them. So those are the objectives for the course. Outcomes, assessment of outcomes rather. Grades, it's going to be 50% for labs, 20% for the midterm, 20% for the final, and then attendance will be 10% of your grade. And then this is a grading scale, pretty self-explanatory. The book is here. That's the one that is linked on the homepage. Let's see. And then there's all these dates are all wrong. I'm going to update all of that. But all right, so that's the syllabus. So real quick, let's just go into SolidWorks, and I'll just show you a couple of things real quick. So I'll close this and start over so you can see it. So when you open SolidWorks, you're going to get this loading page. There's a little conveyor. Takes it a minute to start up here. All right. So when it starts, you're going to get this welcome screen. It's going to ask you to select what kind of file you want. So you can do a part, an assembly, or a drawing. We're going to start with part file right now. We're not going to worry about the other stuff. I always get these alarms. I just ignore them. You might not get those if you install it correctly, but all right. So right off the bat, you're going to see all these menus that come up. So the important stuff is this top menu right now. This is what we're going to worry about. So you've got your file, new, open, save, all that regular stuff you would expect. We've got edit, select all, undo, those will show up once I actually have something to undo and redo. And then a bunch of other stuff that's a little more advanced. We'll get into that stuff later. So, yeah, we won't worry about that stuff right now. So, and then you got your little icons up here. So like home, this opens this welcome box here. So you can select, I want to start a new part file, or I want to start an assembly. This one is basically just new, make a new part file or assembly, so you can do that. This is open, so it'll take you here and you can open some part that you've got saved somewhere. This one's just save, print, undo, select, rebuild. We'll get into that stuff later. I don't want to make it too confusing right now. But right now we're going to start a new sketch. So this button right here you're going to use every time you start a new sketch. And then when you start a new sketch, you have to choose, since it's two-dimensional, which plane you want to sketch it on. So this is your origin, these two little arrows here. And then when you hover over a plane, the outline will turn orange, and that's how you know which one you're clicking on. So let's start our sketch in the front plane. And when you click on it, it'll zoom to that plane and you're ready to go. You always want to start your sketches at the origin. And we have a couple of tools up here to do different types of sketches. We've got our basic line tool, so you can do a single click here, drag the mouse up, and then click again to release your line. It'll let you keep going if you want to. So you can do all kinds of silly shapes with the line. And then we're gonna click OK. I'm gonna select all that stuff and delete it. And I'll show you the circle tool. So that's this one right here. And you can do different kinds of circle. So this one starts at the center point. It's just a regular circle. A perimeter circle, you're going to start it at a point on the outer outline of the circle, and I'll kind of show you what that means. So this is a center point circle. You're going to click on the origin once, drag your mouse out. You're not holding down the click button when you do this. You just click once, drag the mouse out, and then left click again to release it wherever you want. So that's a regular circle. Let's click OK. We're done with that circle. We'll select it and delete it. Here's a perimeter circle. So we're going to start on the origin again. And this one, see what I mean? It starts at the perimeter, and then you can drag it whichever way you want. So make it point in a different direction. Sometimes that tool is kind of handy because you just want to start a circle from the perimeter. I don't know. All right, this is the rectangle tool, and pretty much these, you're going to understand what they do. You'll figure it out as you go. So it's not super complicated. It kind of makes sense. It looks like a rectangle, right? So that's how to make different shapes, and then how to dimension them. We'll take this rectangle, this Smart Dimension tool. You just click that, and then you come over here and you click the line you want to dimension. So I'm going to use my left mouse button to click that line, and then I'm going to get this little dimension here, and I can enter any number I want in that box. So let's make it 1. And then we'll click this line over here and give it a dimension, make this one 0.75. And now our rectangle is fully defined. And you can see it's fully defined because down here it says fully defined right there. If it is not fully defined, that's going to say underdefined. So I'll delete that dimension I just drew. And now you see it says underdefined. If we overdefine it, I'll show you what that looks like. We'll leave that at 0.75. And we add another dimension. Now this dimension is the same as the one above it. You can see that, and they're going to conflict because the software already knows that these two lines are the same. So if you're trying to give them two distinct dimensions, there's potential that those dimensions could conflict. Say I were to try and make this line 2 meters long, even though that top one is 1 meter. And they're supposed to be the same length. It's going to break your drawing, right? So it says, it gives you the option to make this bottom dimension driven, which means that you can't change it. You can see that that line is also 1, but it's just for reference. You can't change that dimension, so it won't break the drawing because the software knows that that needs to be the same as the top one. But if I click leave this dimension driving and click OK, then our drawing will be overdefined. And then it freaks out at us. It says, oh no, it's going to break. And it won't let me change it because it's overdefined. So, alright. So those are the basics of creating a sketch. So let's close out of here. And we'll go back, and I'm just going to show you your assignments for this week, and then I'll wrap up. So we've got the syllabus agreement, which I need everybody to complete this week. It's due by next Monday at midnight, so April 12th by midnight. And this is super easy. It's just something that we have to do at the beginning of the quarter. So I'll just show you. It's like 4 questions. I've read and agreed to the syllabus. I agree to follow the rules regarding COVID-19 safety. I agreed to conduct myself according to the Clover Park Student Code of Conduct, and I agreed to allow the instructor to use my alias as it appears on the Mechatronics Discord server on live and recorded broadcasts. So I just need you to go ahead and agree to all of my demands. No, just go ahead and agree to all of those and turn that in by next Monday. No problem. Nothing, nothing crazy. Just has to get done. All right, and then your actual homework assignment is going to be this lab point 5 fully defined sketches. So just once you get SolidWorks downloaded, go ahead and create 3 fully defined sketches with more than 6 lines or arcs and upload screenshots of them to Canvas. So you don't have to turn in the actual part files, just take a screenshot of whatever you drew and upload it to the assignment page, this assignment for Canvas. All right, and that should be everything. Obviously, again, feel free to message me anytime in Discord, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can if you have questions or concerns. And if you want to see me in person, you can come in on Wednesday from 3:30 to 7:30. All right, I think that's it. Hopefully my audio recorded this time. It looks like it did, but we'll see. All right. Thanks everyone. Have a great night.